The second practice is in the books for the Denver Broncos as they prepare for the AFC Championship game on Sunday to take on the New England Patriots. We were at practice and breaking down the biggest things that you need to know from the second practice of the Broncos leading up to this big-time game. It's the first time the AFC Championship game has been in Denver in 10 years, and there's some great news on the injury front for the Broncos. Every single player outside of Bo Nix on the 53-man roster practiced for the Broncos for a second straight day. That means JK Dobbins, Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, Luke Wattenberg, and Alex Forsythe were all at practice, and Pat Bryant was upgraded from a limited participant yesterday to a full participant today, meaning he cleared the concussion protocol and will be available for the Broncos on Sunday. JK Dobbins looked good in practice. Again, I fully expect him to play this week for the Broncos against the Patriots, and I can't express how big of a boost that is to this Broncos offense, especially with Jarrett Stidham having to take over for Bo Nix. The Broncos are going to have to use that run game a lot more, and having J.K. Dobbins back is going to be absolutely huge. In fact, Garrett Bowles made it clear in the locker room that if J.K. does play, he's going to be ready. So don't expect a limited workload for J.K. He'll be ready to go. Some other news today before I hit big awards that were given out to Broncos today. Make sure to hit us with a like. Subscribe to this channel. Really helps us. We appreciate it. And it also gets you the most up-to-date Broncos and Colorado sports news that you need. The awards that were given out today: Vance Joseph, congratulations. He was named the PFWA, the Pro Football Writers of America, Assistant Head Coach of the Year. Very well earned for Vance. He was also named the AP finalist for Assistant Coach of the Year, and Nik Bonitto was named a finalist for the AP Defensive Player of the Year, the second straight year that Nik has been up for that award. So two big awards. Both of those guys are very deserving, and we talked to Nik about it after, and Nik said, he joked that, yeah, it's probably going to go to Myles Garrett, but he's still honored and humbled to be up for this award, and he should be honored. This is a big-time honor to be one of the 5 finalists for this, so congratulations to Nik and to Vance. One very notable snub here, though. Sean Payton was not named a finalist for the AP Coach of the Year, and that is shameful because he absolutely deserves this. He took this Broncos team to the #1 seed in the AFC, to the #1 record in the NFL at 14-3, and don't forget, no one believed that this Broncos team was Super Bowl worthy when Sean Payton believed that they were Super Bowl caliber before the season. A lot of people laughed at that, and he proved them wrong. He proved that they are a Super Bowl caliber team, so I believe he was snubbed big time there, especially if he gets the Broncos to the Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. And that's the next takeaway here, talking about Jarrett Stidham, because that is the talk of the town. The talk in the Broncos locker room, outside the Broncos locker room, is Jarrett Stidham. And the reason he talked yesterday and today to the media, and he said today the reason he came to Denver is because of Sean Payton. 3 years ago, he signed with the Broncos to work with Sean Payton to back up Russell Wilson. Then he took over at the end of the year, played 2 games for Sean, and then last offseason, he re-signed with the Broncos because of Sean Payton and his coaching. He fully believes that Sean is a great quarterback coach, but also a great leader and has this team going in the right direction, and Jarrett Stidham couldn't be more right about that. Sean Payton talked about Jarrett Stidham today and said his football IQ, calmness, and composure are elite. That, to me, speaks volumes to the type of person that you're going to get from Jarrett Stidham this week. That football IQ being elite is absolutely huge. And Joe Lombardi, the Broncos offensive coordinator, said he's excited to watch him play, and he's confident in Jarrett Stidham because how good Jarrett Stidham has been in the opportunities he's had, specifically in training camp and the preseason. The word that Joe Lombardi used was outstanding, and that should give every Broncos fan a lot of hope hope for what they're going to see. And I'll tell you what, this locker room just continues to just praise Jarrett Stidham. Nik Bonitto said, quote, "I know there's not anybody more prepared than him." Riley Moss said he goes out there and slings it. It's great. So many guys love how Jarrett Stidham is just going to be Jarrett Stidham. He's not going to hold back. He's not going to look like a backup quarterback. He's going to go out there and sling the football. And one of the things I thought that was great from Alex Singleton today, he said everyone's confident in Stidham and they're honest about it. You're not hearing BS. You're not hearing just fluff from players about Stidham. This is all true. So Broncos Country is getting excited for Jarrett Stidham. I see all those profile pictures being changed to Jarrett Stidham. This locker room is just as excited to see Jarrett Stidham. We also got to talk to Vance Joseph. And before I dive into what Vance said, make sure to hit us with a like, subscribe to this video, turn on alerts so you have the most up-to-date Broncos and Colorado sports coverage right here. Vance Joseph said the key to Nik Bonitto changing his game has been going after the football, and that has been so key. Obviously, he's doing a fantastic job getting takeaways. He did that in this past game, getting 2 on Josh Allen. And Nick said, we also talked to Nik Bonitto, and he said, well, Vance broke it down very simple for me. He said that Vance told him, if you get the football, you also get a sack. And that kind of clicked for Nick. So that's exactly what we saw him do against Josh Allen, get that strip sack, which was absolutely huge. Vance also knows teams want to attack the Broncos with their tight ends. And he said that's been the case for a couple of years. Vance is very well aware of that, and that's key for this week because the Patriots have Hunter Henry. Drake May loves going to Hunter Henry. So that's going to be a key emphasis for the Patriots that the Broncos are going to have to stop. And Vance said a big reason for that is we have 2 great outside corners. So then they don't want to attack the outsides. They got to go on the inside. So that might be the key for the Broncos and the Patriots. Stephon Diggs might not have a big game going up against Pat Surtain. In fact, I'd bet on that not happening. And then Hunter Henry, that's who they're going to want to go to. But Vance is very, very aware of that. And another thing that Vance Joseph said, I asked him about Jaquan McMillan's interception that he had, of course, ripping the ball away from Brandon Cooks. And what Vance said about that was that he was so proud of J-Mac because the Broncos coached that leading into the game, that receiver, aka Brandon Cooks, does not finish with the ball every single time. So it was about finishing with the ball, getting it away from him, and that's exactly what J-Mac did to get that interception. Vance was incredibly proud of him and said that J-Mac is the best guy to make plays on the ball on the Broncos defense, and he did it there, so he's not, he wasn't surprised about that at all. Big compliments coming from the assistant coach of the year. Now, if you can't tell, it's cold right now, but it's going to be even colder on Sunday. One of the coldest days that we've had this entire football season in Denver. We're looking at highs right around the low 20s, and the Broncos are talking about it in the locker room. Riley Moss, he said he's ready for it. He said he is ready for cold weather because he's an Iowa boy. He said it's colder at home than it is right now. But he said the Florida boys, it might bite a little bit for them. So if you're going to go out to the game, make sure to dress very, very warm. Broncos, fortunately, are able to prepare for the cold by practicing in this weather all week, but it is going to be cold. 2 more things, really cool moments to end this, but before we get to the cool moment, I got a couple of fun facts about Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham grew up in Kentucky. He's a big Colts fan growing up, a big Peyton Manning fan growing up. He idolized Peyton Manning and went to a lot of Colts games, so you might see him call a few Omahas at the line of scrimmage in honor of his mentor and the guy he looks up to, Peyton Manning. Another thing, he's from Kentucky. He was born and raised in the same town where KFC chicken is from, and he's been to the very first KFC. So fun facts about Stiddy that you need to know. And finally, we're gonna play this on the screen, but let me tell you what's going on here. Very cool moment with Stiddy at practice today. During the warm-ups, him and Bo typically high-five when they get to the end of the line and then go back. Our great photographer, Ryan Green, also out here with Nick Rossetti, both of them we're able to catch this cool moment where Jarrett goes, with Bo Nix not being here, Jarrett gives him a high five to just keep that tradition going. So the Broncos are missing Bo, even though he's not here, they're still keeping him in their hearts. We're gonna be back for the Broncos' final practice on Friday before the AFC Championship game, and of course, we're gonna be here for the AFC Championship game as well, and all the Broncos off-season stuff. And if they make the Super Bowl, we're gonna be there as well. Actually, we'll be there regardless. So make sure to subscribe, hit us with a thumbs up, and we'll see you for more Broncos coverage.